Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of Game Set Live. Another week, another show. This is where we podcast. We bring you honest gameplay of the newest games and our thoughts on those games, and we also bring up the news. And this week, we got some news. I don't know if you want to call it a news or, well, I mean, obituaries are in the news, so yeah, it's quite possible. Shout out to Thember in the chat and holding down the chat as the only non-show moderator in the chat, and it's Timmy in the chat. Yeah. Wow. You know, I'm kind of lost for words right now. I don't know really where to start, but yeah. It broke this past weekend that we had already seen the writing on the wall as far as yeah, we'll get into it. I'll just start with our esteemed guest, Matt Likes Games. Sir, tell us a little bit about yourself. What have you been doing? What have you been playing?
Oh man, what I've been playing is Death Stranding. I'm trying to get through that. I like a lot of people saw Death Stranding 2 at PlayStation's last showcase,
And it was
and
amazing. Yes, the highlight of the
it,
show.
easily the highlight of the show. Looked phenomenal. I can't wait. I played most of it when it came to PC Game Pass, and I never got to beat it. So now I'm replaying it again on Steam, the director's cut, trying to get all the way through that. It's amazing. I love it. Finals. I played 2K with Ham like every single night, pretty much. I mean, I'm all over the place. I got ADHD. I played too many things, way too many things at once. Um, but yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Ah, sorry everybody. I was muted. My dog started to kill something in the backyard, and they're getting all rambunctious and barking and everything. And so I muted myself, and then I start talking. I start replying to Matt, and then yeah, I realized, oh, you dumbass, you muted yourself. But yeah, if I really wanted to show everybody what I've been playing in the gameplay this week, it would just be a lot more Power World, and I think we've all seen enough Power World to know that it is a sensation. So I went back to Suicide Squad,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, I'm gonna get into this a little later in the show, but I've figured out the problem with suicide, the source of the hate behind Suicide Squad, and yeah, it's maybe a little eye opening. USO. See, I almost did it again, Vinny. Vinny.
It was so.
Vinny. Brother,
What up?
how you doing? What you been playing? What's the weather like on the West Coast?
Well, we just had a storm recently, and that kind of was concerning because we started getting brownouts, which isn't good.
Oh,
And so I had to. I just built a new PC, so I had to wait till I got my surge protector to play on it again because yeah, I definitely don't want to fry this thing. Um, Other than that, been playing a ton of stuff. Recently tried out Helldivers 2. Really fun game. It's kind of it's like objective based horde mode, and feels really good on PC. It did have some issues when it launched, as far as connecting to lobbies and whatnot and co-op. But I think the game's running fine now. Um, no DLSS, but I've been getting pretty good performance at 4K, so no complaints. And then yeah, I've just been testing out a bunch of games like Cyberpunk. Just got Red Dead 2. Um,
Putting
been
that
playing
new,
the finals with some buddies.
putting that new gaming PC through the ropes, aren't you?
You know, ringer, yes sir. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's PC gaming, man. It's different. It's like a whole new world.
And you know, I hate the stigmatism behind PC gaming now. As everybody's like, well, I don't want to have to update my PC and mess around in the settings for a freaking hour before I get to play. It's not like that anymore.
Uh,
You know, I'm
it's
old.
not like that at all.
No, I'm old school, and being an old school gamer like I am, back in the day, yeah, it was a lot. But now, as soon as you start a new game up, it looks at what you got and it automatically sets everything. And if you choose to go in and toy with it, you have that option, but you don't have to. So
yeah. As soon as I built it, like first time building a PC ever, installing Windows was pretty easy. Updating all your drivers, like you really only update them once, and then you don't have to worry about them for a while. But you could also set it to automatic updates and check for driver updates if you have issues.
Yeah,
it's not really like it. Just don't cheap out on parts. Like a lot of people's issues, like they cheap out on certain parts and they stop working, and that's when you'll run into issues. But other than that, like it's been smooth sailing for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely I've got my own like favorite parts list that I go. I'm unfortunately on the video side, EVGA is no more, but I loved EVGA. They're my favorite. I always got EVGA cards. Right now, I'm rocking a 3060 Ti EVGA. That is brand new, actually, because I had problems with the old one that I bought off of eBay, and I sent it to them because there was still time on the warranty, and they sent me a fresh new card. So, yeah, a brand new 3060 Ti in 2024.
From EVGA, that's awesome.
From EVGA, yeah, I know, it was pretty awesome, dude. I was like, wow. I started looking it over, and I was like, don't think this is a used card they've refurbished. I think they actually sent me some leftover stock off the shelf. This is awesome. But yeah, other than that, I mean, yeah, I stick to like Kingston or Corsair for my RAM. It's, you know, when it comes to SSDs, it's either Seagate, Western Digital, or SK Hynix. You just, you stick to what you know and stick what's been good to you in the past, and you'll be fine. Stay away from those too good to be true deals on Amazon, because usually they work for about 60 days, and then you find out that why they were too good to be true. But yeah, look, let's just address the elephant in the room. And before I get into it, everybody like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We only do a show a week. We won't clutter up your timeline, I swear. And you can also listen to this podcast live, or not live, recorded the next day on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and Pocket Casts. But let's get it right into it. So, as I alluded to in the intro, we knew Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush were pretty much a done thing. And I don't think anybody really had an issue with that. Sea of Thieves could benefit from an influx of new players, and Hi-Fi Rush, that was a passion project. I don't know if I don't even think I'd have an issue with another passion project known as Grounded going third party, because I mean that could a new influx of players. And then it came out Starfield, and then Starfield just seemed to be that rock that started the avalanche. Before you knew it, it wasn't Starfield anymore. It was Starfield and
Halo.
Halo.
It was Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah,
it was everything. Hellblade 2.
Yeah, the avalanche broke down the floodgate, and before you knew it, Xbox was going to be a bona fide third-party publisher, and yeah, that started some arguments, and we have the absence of a panel member from here on out because of that. Spider Mac is. Anybody that reached out to him and asked him if he was okay, he blocked. I never even talked to him, and I've been blocked on Twitter and Xbox. He even left the Discord, so he couldn't be a part of the show if he wanted to be. I'm like, wow, I don't know. We don't even know the concrete facts, but as my thumbnail alluded to this week, I mean, you don't have all this controversy start on a weekend and then tell everybody on that Monday, we'll let you know exactly what's going on in 7 days, while the brand just burns in the meantime. Yep. I mean, God, that's got to be a PR nightmare. Just come out and the fact that they haven't come out and just shot these things down like they have in the past leads, it's more credence to the possibility that it's true. I mean, Vinny, are you going to buy another Xbox ever again?
Probably not. It's consoles in general.
Man, he just broke.
I mean,
yeah.
PlayStation's eventually gonna do day and dates, so especially with I know Helldivers 2 isn't made by a PlayStation studio technically,
right?
But I mean, they see the success, like #1 on Steam for the day, and yeah, like eventually everything will be on PC. So
yeah. What about you, Matt?
I will probably buy another console. I mean, if I get a like PS6 or Xbox, I would probably still get the Xbox because it's the ecosystem I happen to prefer.
Right.
Also, PlayStation, the way they're doing things right now, isn't something I'm like super thrilled about.
yeah,
I'm not dying to play remasters or remakes, and like Vinny said, stuff will come to PC eventually, day and date. Like I'll mostly just be on PC and then grab an Xbox, whatever they end up doing next gen, whenever that is. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I still don't have a PS5. I'm still rocking my PS4 Pro, my Series X, and my PC. And
it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, until they give me a real serious reason to, I mean, it depends on. So Death Stranding.
Don't like remasters, Bob?
Well, I've already, considering that I already got remasters with the PS4. Why would I get more remasters for the PS5?
But you could get remasters of those remasters, and that's
remakes of those remasters.
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
Gosh, I mean, just keep revisiting franchises that we've already revisited, just for more eye candy. Oh, well, thank you. I mean, if I was in it for eye candy, then I would be a bona fide PC gamer, and that would be it. And I'm not that. But yeah, it depends on Death Stranding 2. Death Stranding 2 may push me to get a PS5, but as we've seen with it wasn't very long after Death Stranding that we got it on PC. And the majority of my play with Death Stranding has been on PC Game Pass. It's just kind of odd because there's actually Xbox achievements for Death Stranding on PC Game Pass.
Yep.
And with the look, with Helldivers being day and date, maybe Death Stranding 2 breaks that mode from an exclusive standpoint and goes day and date.
That's my question. If Helldivers 2 is going to be... was it announced to be just PS5 at launch?
No, it's day and date, PC and PlayStation.
Oh, day and date this time.
Yes, day and date, PC and PlayStation.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, the writing's on the wall. I mean, there's day and date. I say before the end of the year, we get our first PlayStation exclusive on PC day and date. Which, I mean, Helldivers 2, yes.
Yeah, you mean like first party.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. I mean first party. I think we'll see that. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't know what to say. I mean, social media to people posting receipts of their console sales. I'm like, okay.
I've been loving it.
I'm like, really? you sold your Series X and all those games, and you didn't even break $400, and now you're stuck with an SSD that that they would not take. Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean,
It's funny they won't take the SSD.
yeah, but
Nobody buys SSDs from GameStop or something.
I guess not. I mean, to me, it seems like it would be something really easy to just format and put it on the
Sell
shelf.
back.
Yeah. I mean, what's his name on The Big Bang Theory found that that Batman thumb drive on the floor and he wiped it out and resold it. And they lost all that Bitcoin. Sorry if you've seen that episode or not. Yeah, it's a sad episode. I don't know. So you got people selling their consoles, jumping ship, and I gotta be honest with you. Since this whole thing started, I'll hop on my Xbox and I'll go to play Power World or something, and then the thought will hit me. Well, let me check my friends list. And to be honest with you, I don't see. Is it me or is there not as many people on right now while everybody's waiting to find out exactly what's going on?
I've noticed that a lot of people have just been offline lately.
Yes. Timmy says,
Like when a plague would hit those old,
yeah,
old kingdoms, and everybody would just stay inside until the plague went away. This time the plague is multi-platform for Xbox.
I know. It's just, I don't know. And I said it in our private chat, Vinny. I've always wanted everything to be on every console and every platform. It's just, I'm a gamer and I want to see everything on everything. If you have a choice, you should have a choice to buy a PlayStation or an Xbox, just like you have the choice of whether or not to put an AMD platform in your PC or an Intel platform in your PC. Go ahead.
I'll go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, that'd be cool for me too. The only problem is if Xbox is the only one that does it, that just means that's just a down spiral for the platform. You know what I mean? Like
it is.
It'll just lead to less console sales, less software sales, and then eventually, like, your digital library is gone because they won't support it. I mean, just look at what Sony did with Funimation and Crunchyroll. I guess Funimation wasn't having enough subscribers or sales in general, so they just merged the two. Well, technically merged. They pretty much just liquidated Funimation into Crunchyroll. And all the content that people had on Crunchyroll is gone now. So, no refunds.
None
or not on Funimation. All the content people had on Funimation is gone. So, because you could buy like anime seasons or movies, and yeah, everybody just lost access to all their content.
I do believe this is an internal struggle, though. That has recently come out here in the last couple of days. This is an internal struggle, and I think it's Phil against the shareholders. Shareholders are like, we just spent $70 billion on this, ABK, and we're wanting to see, which is funny because I know console sales are up. They have already come out and said that they've seen an increase in console sales this year. And, I mean, the Pal World phenomenon is still alive and kicking. And right now it's the only console that you can play that on. So there's people that I'm sure there's Series S's being bought just to play Pal World. And I don't know. I think this is a knee-jerk reaction that's being made in haste, and I don't know. It's definitely, if you were going to kill a brand, it's definitely the first thing you would do is say, I'm going to put my exclusive on other brands.
Matt, what's your whole take on the whole thing? I know you said, like, you think it's overreaction from everyone, but, like, what's your exact thoughts on it?
The thing is, I think
go ahead.
I think it's an overreaction until we get an official statement. Like right now, because like I've heard multiple people throw out the theory, like Mike even threw out this theory when we were hanging out in party chat, Vinny, where like it's not insane to think that somebody at Xbox leaked all this stuff and hopes to garner reaction to show that that's not something that people want. I mean, I think that theory makes a lot of sense. As far as like what happens if this all happens, I mean, it makes you're basically banking on your exclusive after once this happens being Xbox Game Pass. And it's up to whether or not they think that Game Pass is a viable exclusive. Does that make up for putting all of your games on another platform? Me personally, I would say no. But that's something they're going to have to find out. I'm interested to see how it all unfolds, but it's one of those things. It's hard for me to get like people are losing their minds over this, and it's hard for me to get that upset one way or the other until we actually hear something. You know?
Yeah, this announcement or the show or however they structure this for next week.
That'd be ruthless if it was a show.
It's a showcase,
right?
It's okay.
This is show. This is a
PlayStation
showcase.
2024.
Yeah. Oh, that's dirty. But yeah, it would. So I'm telling you right now, you're probably going to see because, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm usually a little late to the like state of plays and the the PlayStation quote unquote showcases. I'm usually a few minutes late to them. And I'll be honest with you, some of the time I'm even catching up a little bit on, mainly so I can just fast forward to the shit I don't really care about on the E3 showcases and whatnot, and long live E3, poor friend. But I'm telling you right now, this is probably going to be the largest viewed stream in video game history.
Dude, it's worldwide news.
It is. It's worldwide news. They're going to have everybody on the edge. You're going to have PlayStation fans just looking for ammunition. And you're going to have Xbox fans on the edge of their seat trying to, speculating and hoping that their brand isn't going to, like, shoot itself. Which all signs are pointing towards that. But, yeah, there's this... this stream is gonna be crazy, and what'll be even funnier is if none of it's true. I put it in our chat a little while ago that maybe because Phil said these games will be on platforms where Game Pass exists, and I think that was a pretty good rendition of that quote. Thank you very much. But what if they open this show with announcing that Game Pass is going to PlayStation, and that's how these games are going to be on PlayStation? And then if that happened, the tables would completely flip, because then it would be Sony that gave in and not Xbox. What if these leaks came from a advertising firm that was putting something together for Game Pass on other platforms, and the three games that they used were Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush, and Starfield. And so this gets out, and one thing leads to another. Oh my God, these games and all their exclusives are going to go, third party on other platforms, when actually it was just a Game Pass advertisement. Which, I don't know.
I don't think Sony would ever allow Game Pass on...
I don't either.
I think Microsoft would love that, though. They would.
Yeah, Microsoft would love that, I bet.
Oh, Vinny, Thimber said your mic is going loud and then soft, and then loud and then soft.
Oh, let me adjust that. Give me 1 second.
I say, are you over there? You dancing a jig while you're talking on the mic? Yeah.
No, I think it's good.
Oh man, it's just I don't know. It's just crazy to even think of. See, this is what you get, Phil, for playing Kumbaya and being nice.
Yeah.
That's horrible. But, I still have hope. And I have hope for the brand. I mean, see, this is what people need to realize. As a gamer, as a fanboy, this is soul crushing. But as a gamer, this does absolutely nothing to you. It means nothing to you. This is just a corporation that is doing what corporations are set out to do, and that's to make money. And in the end, if this means faster game development, better game development, less bugs in the end, because a game that sold 3 million copies on this platform because of Game Pass subscriptions sees another $3 million of total, like solid sales on another platform. Okay, if that's how I get Starfield 2, so be it. If that means we don't have to wait 4 years for another Gears, so be it. If that means that Halo doesn't come out broken, so be it. As a gamer, I win from every angle as a gamer. As a fanboy, putting my feelings on my sleeve out there on social media, yeah, this is soul crushing for that person. But at the end of the day, kumbaya, we'll all be on the same team finally, right? Yay!
The blue team.
Oh no, would it be the purple? No, what is green and red, or green and blue?
Green and blue.
Yeah, will be the purple team.
It's not purple.
Yeah,
I don't know.
the purple.
I don't think it's purple.
Brown.
Yeah.
It's a purple.
It's the brown
nurple.
team.
I don't mix colors very often. I just pick them on Photoshop and say, yeah, it looks good to me.
Yeah, this whole thing is just like, it's infuriating. Like, just like making us wait till next week to see what happens. I mean,
Yeah.
just it's like, do you think they care like about the brand anymore? Like, do you think they see the people selling their Xboxes and stuff, or
I think the biggest problem with all of this, even more than Xbox potentially going third party, is them making us wait for a statement. Because like, what's going to happen is next week they'll give us a statement. A worst case scenario, literally worst case scenario, is everything is going to PlayStation. That's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, this is all bullshit and there's nothing going on, and it's probably realistically probably somewhere in between. So I mean, that comes and goes next week, and then we all just kind of move on. But it's this week. Like, it's what's happening between what Phil said on Monday to whatever they say next week is the part that just is terrible. The part that's really terrible for a lot of people. And I feel like that's doing more damage than whatever you're about to announce next week can ever do.
And, I can't. So we know you got two different versions of a PS5, right? You got the disc version, which is $500, or then you've got the version without the disc. But the new reiteration of that is the one that you can buy without the disc, but you can add the disc later. But we're still talking $400, $500 systems. And the panelist that'll be here shortly, that is eating with his family, which happens ever since we put the show at 7:00 instead of 9:00. We intrude on his family time. That's understandable. But Fabio, he lives in Brazil, and the Brazilian real and all the taxes that they deal with down there. All Fabio could afford was a Series S, and which is a great console. And it makes toast perfectly.
for $1 a day, you could help people like Fabio upgrade to a Series X.
Right, but at the end of the day, to me that bothers me the most about this whole situation is that if they kill the console, because Microsoft has really went out of their way to appeal to two different demographics: the enthusiast who wants the best that they can buy with their dollar in the Series X, and then the Series S for the person who still wants access to that platform and that ecosystem and some of the benefits of the new hardware at a cheaper price. I mean, I think I've seen the Series S as low as $200, and that's crazy. So
you can't even find a gaming laptop that performs like that for 200.
No,
so
absolutely.
I really want to know what you guys think of if this is true. If let's just say that the Starfield, the Hi-Fi Rush, and Sea of Thieves is a done deal. Is just waiting for announcement, because we've already seen that Microsoft has invested in more PS5 dev kits. So we know that's a fact. And let me break from that real quick. Fabio, sir, how are you doing?
Yo,
Welcome
yo,
to
can you hear me? It's all good.
Fabioso.
Yes,
Hello.
this is
How you doing, everyone?
the Brazilian gangster, live in the flesh, sir.
Always a Brazilian gangster, of
Uh,
course. Yeah, I'm great. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be here, and yeah, let's go.
Well, you've been
Where did I stop you guys? Sorry for it. What have been playing?
Yeah.
Okay, I've been playing some Halo Infinite, of course. I did play as well some Palworld. Yeah, I've been playing some Madden NFL 24 because the Super Bowl is almost here, and I just want to point out and say, screw you, Kansas City Chiefs. I don't want you to win at all. Like 2 championships in a row. Goddamn. And other than, yeah, I wish my Vikings were there. I wish that the Detroit Lions won against the 49ers. But yeah, sadly, I will have to root for the damn 49ers to win the goddamn Super Bowl. But yeah, who cares? And other than that, I started to play some Forza Motorsports. I never did actually manage to get to play the next gen version of Forza Motorsports. So yeah, I'm really at the introduction, and yeah, so far so good.
It still kills me that you live in Brazil and you pick the NFL team that's probably one of the farthest northern teams you could pick.
Which one would you want me to pick? Like I picked the team that more like me. I am a Viking, so yeah, I am fan of Nordic culture, so yeah, so I will pick the Minnesota Vikings.
Miami Dolphins are closer, and they actually had a shot this year.
I hate heat. I really hate heat. So yeah, Miami is not something for me.
Yeah, well, at least they had a shot this year. They weren't home during the playoffs.
They had, you sure? So did the Cowboys. So did the Browns.
Well,
Cowboys always choke.
Yeah, they do.
Leave my father's team out of this.
So what we were talking about, Fabio, was about you entered at the perfect time, because I want to put this on the panel, and I'll give my thoughts afterwards. But so let's just say that Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush, and Starfield is a done deal, barring the announcement, the official announcement that that's going to happen. But let's say that the whole catalog gets the third-party treatment. What are your honest opinions about what Xbox could do to keep the console alive? What are the caveats that they can add in there to say, hey, you're going to have the more? Are they going to stick with the more powerful option, or are they going to cater to people who actually get the console in a certain way? What do you think they could do to not kill the brand, but still accomplish this third-party thing? Anybody?
I mean, when you speak about the whole catalog, are you talking about every single game, every single like Xbox Game Studios game, Activision Blizzard games, and Bethesda games that are already released and future ones, or are you just saying the ones that we have right now are going to be multiplat, and in the future we might get exclusives?
Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go on
Yes.
a case by case.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah. Like I ask you one, I ask you
One
one
of the
or
others,
another,
yes.
and you tell me yes. You want this or that? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that may even go into how you keep the console alive is by keeping some exclusives there. But yeah, what is your
Mhm.
how do you think Xbox does this and doesn't kill the brand, which they're already well on their way to doing with being quiet? Yeah.
Okay, like here's what I feel. Let me make a way more complete answer to this situation, because let me explain what I told you guys on our private chat on Twitter, which is like Xbox has the opportunity to do what they suffered in 2013 by PlayStation. So let's make the here's a perfect analogy for this situation of making us have to wait for 1 week, because Xbox saw the rumors and they saw have all the info they need to how people are going to react if that's the plan, or if they are going to do exactly the plan that the rumors were saying, with every single detail saying that everything is going to be multiplat, we're going to just get temporary exclusives, and after 1 year or two we are going to have them going to PlayStation and Nintendo Switch, la di da, blah blah blah. Xbox saw the reaction to these rumors, and these are just rumors, these were not confirmed yet. What I hope and think that Xbox might do is the proof of if they are intelligent, which is if Phil Spencer didn't say anything like don't trust rumors, we are not doing this, or just killing right away the rumors whatsoever and just making us wait for 1 week, that means that something is going to change. But what I think they are going to be doing right now, seeing all the reaction that people had and the backlash that they are going to be receiving from that decision, they don't want to have another Xbox One generation. They don't want to have such a extreme case like that. They don't want to have another red ring of death, just like the 360 era. What I think they are going to do during this week is somehow adapt the plan to make something that is going to be acceptable for the fans, or for the majority of the fans, and is still going to follow what they intend to do to for the business model going forward. If PlayStation managed to do that from one day to another during that 2013 conference where Xbox went first, said what they had to say, people hated it, and PlayStation saw the reaction, and when they were supposed to do the same thing as Xbox, they flipped the switch and said, we're not going to be doing that. If in one day Sony did that, Xbox has to be able to somehow either flip the switch or adapt to something better, because there's no way they are seeing the reaction of people and they are still thinking, let's go with the original plan. That's it. Let's go with just making everything multiplat and temporary
Ooh, we're
exclusives
going live.
to accept. Like, you know what I mean? So, what I think is going to be more acceptable, now going to the answer of your question. Well, first of all, I honestly don't necessarily care for the exclusive titles. But would I love to have some exclusives? Yes, of course I would love to have some exclusives. But what I am most afraid of is for us to have a new model that might make us lose the console. And I want to be secured. I want to be safe that I'm going to be able to in the future continue to have the platform that I choose, that I like, and continue to have my library of games. Sure, I can keep my old console. Of course I can. But in future generations, what am I going to be doing? So like I don't want to go to PC, and I don't necessarily have any interest in the PlayStation, and like my only interest in the Nintendo Switch were mostly like just Super Smash Bros. That had Banjo Kazooie characters. Just that. So what I'm mostly afraid of is I don't want to lose the console that I want. I don't want to lose the opportunity to choose whatever console I like. So what I think they can do to make something more acceptable is to say Activision Blizzard and Bethesda games are going to be multiplat or temporary exclusives to Xbox, temporary, and soon they are going to be shipped to PlayStation, but nothing's going to change from the studios under the umbrella of Xbox Game Studios, which are the 15 studios that they got right now. Minus, of course, Mojang that has Minecraft and which other studio from Xbox Game Studios does multiplayer games besides Minecraft? Let me just check here just for one sec.
Mojang does.
Oh yeah, Mojang and like contractual obligation games that they had, just like Double Fine did with like games as Psychonauts 2.
Psychonauts
That
2,
game
yeah.
is an Xbox Game Studios title, but it was promised before the acquisition to be multiplayer. So like, unless it is a game that was promised to be multiplayer, or it is from a studio that is going to keep themselves as multiplayer like Mojang Studios, I think that the only way that fans can accept this model is if they do something like that. Bethesda and Activision Blizzard are going to be multiplats, and Xbox Game Studios are going to continue as the Xbox platform. I think that's the best way to go, honestly.
Yeah. Just shortly before you arrived, Fabio, I gave a little a different look at it. 'Cause how many buying options do you have for PlayStation? You have a $400 and a $500 option, and I know in Brazilian reais that really doesn't work for you down there. It's still very expensive.
Yeah, it's really expensive.
But the Series S worked for you down there, and if they were to kill their hardware,
Amazing.
yeah, if they were to kill their hardware, then they'd be shutting out a lot of people in a lot of different parts of the world that just cannot afford the price tag that Sony is putting on their hardware.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
yeah. But Mr. Matt likes games, sir. How do you think the hardware survives this if the worst case scenario does happen?
The hardware. How do I think the hardware survives? I mean, that's gonna be interesting. But if I had to say, I mean, you first of all, you have to have some form of exclusivity to something. Especially for the more hardcore fans out there, you need to have something that makes your thing unique. Whether that's actual true exclusives that last or timed exclusivity, you have to have something to make that appealing to people. As far as because it really depends on like if it's just Bethesda and ABK, then you can still say, well, okay, Bethesda and ABK goes to PlayStation, but we still have
Our own studios.
yeah, we still have our own studios. We still have Hellblade, which that's part of the rumors as well. But you still got stuff like that: Hellblade, Halo, Gears, and whatever else, um, which is appealing, or at least, in my opinion, appealing. But it's going to be tough to keep the console itself alive. What's wild about this is I think Xbox, if they do this, I think Xbox as a brand flourishes. I think the console does the exact opposite. It's going to be really hard to keep that alive for a lot of people, especially to justify it when everybody's going like, well, I can just buy a PlayStation, I can just put some money aside, start saving, build a PC. I mean, when your options are like that, it's going to be difficult. I feel I don't know how they're going to keep the console alive. It's going to be really tough, I think.
And let's not forget that.
Like,
Let's not forget that.
but like, what do you? Go on, Bob. Go on.
Blah, 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 blah.
Well,
Bobbity, bobbity,
so
bob.
let's not forget. So we have brought up the whole Game Pass viewpoint
Yeah.
on it, and we know Sony's not going to let Game Pass be on their console. So Game Pass can't be multi-platform. Game Pass is going to have a home, and that home is going to have to be the hardware. So,
Yep.
I mean, and if you do the math, Game Pass is still making billions of revenue every year. That's still, I don't know. I don't think you walk away from that. You've got to have a home for your service. Yes, you can have it on other services, which we've seen on PC, and I think Game Pass is a real possibility on Nintendo, but on PlayStation, I think Game Pass doesn't work for PlayStation because Game Pass will show Game Pass will be an in-your-face look at the flaws that your gaming service has on PlayStation that Game Pass fixes. It would just be it would make PS Plus. It would just make it look inferior. So I don't think Sony would ever let that happen. But you're still going to have hardware for your service. Now, whether or not they go as far as to brand it in the future as the most powerful console in the world, whether they go as far as they went with the Series X from an engineering standpoint, I have something else to say about that too. But I'll let Vinny chime in with his take. Sir, how does the hardware survive this? How did we get it? Still, it doesn't.
No, I mean no software means no hardware, and I mean obviously the games will still be on Xbox and whatnot, right? But what the media does is the reason why exclusives are so important is not because they sell the most out of any games on the market, right? Besides Nintendo Switch games, it's because they're used by the media as marketing, so they're marketing tools. And the reason why they're so strong the reason why PlayStation's so strong is because they have these great looking games that aren't really on any other platform, even on PC. They're not on PC, and they've built this like portfolio over the years. So the media sees that, they're marketing them all the time. IGN especially, they're like, oh, hey, this is like top 10 things about God of War, or 5 things to do when playing Forbidden West, and people see this and they're like, oh, like I want to get a PlayStation. And then what that does is it boosts console sales, which ends up boosting software sales, which ends up boosting engagement from players. But when you have no exclusives to differentiate yourself, I mean, Game Pass is pretty good, right? Like, I think we all are subscribed to Game Pass. We all love Game Pass.
Yeah.
But when the only thing you have that differentiates yourself from the competitor is Game Pass, and Game Pass isn't even exclusive to Xbox. It's on PC, it's on cloud, it's on a bunch of things. So you don't even need an Xbox to use Game Pass. So ultimately, no exclusives plus no hardware sales will just end up leading to Xbox in the future just not doing consoles anymore, and ultimately just going multiplat. And that's the reason why a lot of people are upset. It's not because the BS excuses that people are saying, like Colin Moriarty saying, oh, people are just upset because they're I forgot how he put it. He said something about they developed a relationship. Yeah, exactly. They developed like a relationship with Xbox and is blah blah blah. Like, it's like, no, it's because we love Xbox is one thing, but we're upset because this ultimately leads to us not having our digital library that we curated during the Xbox One generation till today.
Yeah. Can I add on to that really quickly? I think one thing that's going to save the console by necessity was what Vinny just said. That digital library that people have built up since probably the end of the 360, mid 360 to now. I feel like unless they're going to refund people money, which they're almost
They
certainly not
probably
going to do.
won't. Yeah.
They're almost certainly not
Full
going to do that.
Sony.
So, like I feel like the console's going to stay alive simply by necessity of having to support that digital library. Because if you just say, "Hey, we know you spent all this money since whatever 2010 on a digital library in our ecosystem, but sorry guys, our consoles just we're not making them anymore." You would have to have something in place to be like, okay, your digital library, we're not going to have it here on our thing because we're done making the thing, but you can have it. We'll put it on. I think the closest thing they have to that right now would be Microsoft Store on PC, and not everything that you bought over the years is available on Microsoft Store on PC.
Yeah.
So they got to have something as a backup plan in place. Make a deal with somebody to make your digital library go somewhere else so that it's always there. Otherwise, I feel like the console kind of needs to be alive, just by necessity.
But like, are we taking into consideration the like if the rumors, every single detail of the rumors are true in terms of everything, no exception is going to be multiplat.
Well, the original leaker, Nate the Hate, said people were overreacting and that the only things that leaked for him were just a couple games, and one of them including Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
People made up the rumors. Well, people started. It was like a snowball effect. As soon as like Hi-Fi Rush was leaked, people were like, "Oh, you know, Starfield. Oh, Indiana Jones. Oh, now it's Halo, Gears, and Forza."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
so
like in my opinion, like what I hate the most is how we've seen like some of these media guys, some of these quote unquote insiders, or like just people that love to share any sort of information, like how they kind of mismanage this situation in terms of like, sure, mostly it's the fault of Xbox for like having such a model, and like they intended to make us wait till spring for that, right, to tell us something about that, and now we're going to be getting this on the next week. But like we saw like some guys like Idoslav, like Idoslav, he made like the biggest post telling all the rumors, everything, every situation, every detail, like in terms of it doesn't matter if it was real, it doesn't matter if it was confirmed, it doesn't matter if it was going to cause chaos or if it was actually true. He just posted the tweets because he's a guy that wants to share information of the gaming world. I do understand that. But today or yesterday, he made a post saying, I just want to say that for now on, I am going to be posting more stuff that is guaranteed to be confirmed instead of rumors. Like, you seriously made all this chaos. You seriously contributed for all of this chaos, and now you're saying sorry, and now you're kind of saying sorry.
is it too
Seriously,
late now to say sorry?
like it's really why?
Well, it wasn't just him too. Let's be
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
I'm
100%
just saying
clear.
one. It's just one example. Not saying that he was everything, and that's it. Like he is the one responsible for that, but like he is the only one responsible for that. But like he is one of the biggest ones that managed to cause the entire chaos of the situation. So yeah, kind of Jesus, like my God.
Hey, shout out to Boba Fett Gaming and Hard Days Mike in the chat. Thanks for stopping by,
Mike,
fellas.
what's up?
Mike,
Yes.
what's up, Boba Fett?
So, what I want to see, the way I think, the problem that I have with the hardware space in consoles right now is the parity. I can't stand that both consoles decided to go with the same architecture, with the same GPU. It infuriates me that's what makes.
You're saying the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X?
Yes.
Or you're saying the Series S and Series X?
Well, both of them are using AMD APUs with RDNA graphics, and it's, to me, that what they need to do in the future from here moving on out, they need to break this mold. I want to see a console with some Nvidia graphics. I actually want to see, I don't want to see who does the same architecture the best. I want to see two competing architectures against themselves. That's what makes PC gaming so great. You got your Nvidia versus Radeon. You got your AMD versus Intel. Yes, I'm an AMD fan, but only from the CPU side. You know, I'm rocking my 16 cores, my 32 thread, 5950X CPU, but I am a bona fide NVIDIA fanboy when it comes to my GPU through and through. It's the most compatibility for my, the video engine, for my encoding, my transcoding, and just the way that plays games from DLSS to the ray tracing cores. I want to see Xbox break that mold and move away from it, and it sucks because NVIDIA doesn't make an APU, so we're talking about a system that's going to be a CPU separate with a discrete GPU in it, and that's going to be expensive. But, I mean, I know they can figure out a way to do it. I mean, you go back and you look at the very first Xbox console that came out in 2000. That was NVIDIA graphics with, I believe it was an Intel processor. They did it then. And look at what it did. I mean, it wiped from game to game comparisons, it wiped the floor with the PS2. It was just, I break the parity mold. That's how you keep your hardware fresh, is by not making it so much like the other guy. Yes, you've got 12 teraflops over their 10 point whatever it is, but guess what? They're still doing games better than you are. Every Digital Foundry video that I watch, I'm floored by seeing that the less powerful hardware is doing it better. How is this possible? It doesn't add up. You just need to go another direction. Yes, it's going to stay around.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
think a
like,
different hardware though is gonna change that.
like, this is not a situation of the hardware, Bob. This is, in my opinion, this is a situation of the optimization, honestly, because
Yeah.
PlayStation is the console with the bigger fan base. They are the ones that sell the most consoles. They are the ones that has the most console units sold since the PlayStation 4 generation, which they had those amazing numbers, and they continue to have some really great numbers on the PlayStation 5 generation. Sure, they didn't get to the level of PlayStation 4 generation, of course, but they still are pretty big because and the developers, most of the third-party publishers and developers, they consider like the majority of gamers has either a PC, a PlayStation 4, and a Nintendo Switch. So basically, they are counting that these people are going to continue on the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 6, and so on, and so on. They are considering that, so they are going to shift their focus not to to better optimize not the most powerful console, but the most popular one.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that there's two different SKUs either. I think that
Yeah.
divides resources from developers.
Yeah, I think the big issue there is like, unfortunately, I feel like it's the two SKUs. Hardware wise, that I also feel like switching to Nvidia. You brought up the point of it being probably a bit more expensive just because of Nvidia's not making APUs, really. So it would be more expensive in that regard. Also, it's one of those things, with the PS6, we would assume they're going to stick with AMD because why not? It also adds another thing that developers have to fine tune and optimize for, and I feel like, to the point that Fabio just brought up. I mean, why would you fine tune and optimize for this thing that isn't selling half as much? That isn't going to sell nearly as many copies of your game as the other thing is. So it's a tough spot to be in that regard.
Yeah, but I don't know.
An interesting point too. Oh, go ahead.
Well, it just goes back to, I mean, because the two of them are so similar. I mean, yes, I know that PlayStation had. Remember, it was being dubbed RDNA 1.5 because it wasn't quite RDNA 2. It didn't have all the bells and whistles RDNA 2 did. But that Sony chose to take some of the things from RDNA 2 and have it implemented into the RDNA 1, which kind of made it 1.5. At the same time, we're talking about hardware that's so similar. So one that had all the features and one that only had one and a half of the features. You would think that they would still perform. What are you optimizing for? We're talking about the same hardware, but yet PlayStation still does it better. It doesn't make any sense. You know, it's like having it's like a 4090 versus a 3090. Yes, the 3090 will do everything that the 4090 does, but guess what? The 4090 pumps out better. It's more efficient. It's got more frames, which is the difference we should have seen between the Series X and the PS5. They both do the same thing, but the Series X does it so much better.
The thing is,
go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, like, the PS5 doesn't have better hardware. Is the thing. It's just really, I think it just comes down to resources. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's what they know they're going to sell on PlayStation compared to Xbox. So it's like, and I also wonder. I mean, and I say this is something. I'm not a developer. I have no idea how it works. But I wonder if also because of what you just said, I know that the big thing at launch was RDNA 1.5 versus RDNA 2. I wonder if because PlayStation 5 shares more similarities with previous hardware, like previous generations of hardware, because it's not truly that next leap in between the two consoles. I wonder if because it shares that, if it's just also easier to develop on. It's also easier to just get things right for it. I'm not entirely sure how that would work.
Yeah. Oh, me neither. It's kind of like it's almost like comparing an orange to a tangerine. You know, the differences are so minuscule, but the likenesses. I don't want to do that next generation. You know, I want to see a table versus a chair. That's what I want to see. I want the parity to go away. I want to say, okay, let's, instead of seeing who does this better, let's see who's actually better. And yeah.
You know who could do that is Intel. And maybe instead of Nvidia, they go full Intel.
That'd be interesting, especially with the rumored APUs that Intel's making.
I'd be interested. I'd be really interested to see that,
dude. I've got an i5 in my laptop. I've got an i5 with Iris Xe. That integrated graphics, that new Iris Xe is no joke. I mean, yeah, it doesn't do a lot lot. It does everything I needed to do, but yeah, seeing that it could very possibly be. And the things going on with Intel right now about how they've been taking cheap shots at AMD because Intel's kind of like hit a brick wall as far as their processing goes. Maybe APUs in the consoles is Intel's saving grace to kind of bring them back to, like Boba Fett said in the chat, his last two systems have been Intel. But I mean, right now, when you get into the people that are building their own PCs, I hate to say it, but I think AMD is what people are gravitating towards because they're making the most noise in the CPU space with PCs. I don't know. Maybe that's an opportunity. but I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see that.
And we've already heard rumblings too that Thember brought it up in the chat, and just going to reiterate that yes, we know that new Xbox hardware is coming. They're already working on it. I just don't see this as a. Yeah, I'm going to stick with Bethesda titles because, I mean, Bethesda has got such a long history with all of their IPs being on all platforms. And Activision Blizzard's got a lineage of everything being on all platforms. Yeah, I do think, and you know, I mean, we may even go as, because Sea of Thieves has been brought up too. I'd go as far as to say that Rare has got that same lineage, which is why we're seeing the Sea of Thieves being brought into the
No, no, I don't necessarily think so because Rare has been an Xbox studio way more. It has been an Xbox studio in much bigger time of its history
fray. I don't know. When I think of
than
Rare,
it was a second party studio for Nintendo.
yeah, but when I think of Rare, the first thing I think of is Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, I know. Everyone thinks about that. Everyone thinks about those situations where Rare was on the top of the world releasing Conker's Bad Fur Day, Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong's Tro- Diddy Conquest, Dixie Kong Double Trouble, and La Di Da, all those games for the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo 64, the magical era, and then in 2002 they were acquired by Microsoft. The situation, but still, even though most people recognize Rare for that, there's still an entire generation. There's still tons of people with the success of Sea of Thieves that knows Rare for what they are now, which is the Sea of Thieves developer. And who we might get something amazing from Everwild that is going to make another generation say, "Oh, these are the Everwild developers." The issue with Xbox and Rare throughout their history is not a situation where, oh, the games were not good or the games were trash or something like that. It was because most of the people were actually angry that that Microsoft acquired Rare, and because of that, they didn't even give a chance for the games. Grab by the Ghoulies, their first title for the original Xbox, their first title ever since they joined Microsoft, was a failure in terms of selling points. But if you play the game right now, it is a hidden gem, honestly, from the original Xbox. And a lot of Nintendo guys that were saying shit about this game when it got released, when it was announced, they made videos saying, I played this game and I wished I had given a second chance when it came out. So, like, I think that honestly, it's just a matter of perspective. Our perspective is Rare is the studio that makes Donkey Kong, that made Banjo Kazooie, and yes, that made Sea of Thieves. But for a lot of people, it's the studio that made only Sea of Thieves, but it doesn't matter. Rare has been an Xbox studio for way more time than it was a Nintendo studio.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't know. It's just that there's a disconnect there that when you think Rare, you don't think, you know, like I said, Donkey Kong Country and Diddy Kong and those guys. You know, I just.
Yeah, but it depends. What about the people that literally got married in Sea of Thieves? There's cases where, because of COVID, Sea of Thieves approached people. They met a guy met a girl on the game, and they actually made their marriage ceremony in the game. That is documented in the Sea of Thieves documentary that Rare has released. That is true. I'm not speculating or saying that that might have happened. That actually happened. So like for depends on the on the type of person, depends on their taste, depends on what they lived, and depends on their generation.
Yeah. I think we've beat this horse to death, guys. Yeah, I do want to say that I don't know. Maybe these wheels got turning before the Pal World phenomenon happened, and maybe they're taking their time to kind of put the brakes on some of this because I have heard rumors in a couple of other groups that I'm in with fellow podcasters that the Xbox extending the olive branch to Pocket Pair and giving them dedicated servers for Power World and speeding up the accreditation process for updates. That actually went a little further, and that is in exclusivity. We do know that Power World had a 1 year Game Pass agreement, and I've heard a rumor that that is not just a Game Pass agreement anymore. That is a console exclusivity on Game Pass for a year. So even if PlayStation was to change the rules they have on unfinished games and game previews being allowed in their service, that it can't happen until this time next year anyway. Don't know. Yeah, Thember brings up, what if Xbox buys Pocket Pair? Well, it would be solely on the success of Power World, my friend, because Pocket Pair's not got a very good track record with support of their games. And Everwild, I think Everwild is going to be just like Power World. I mean, maybe not the as far as how you capture your pals, but the premise, I believe, is very close between Everwild and Power World, which could be, could be conflicting in the end. But we'll just have to wait until Monday. Or do we even know? Is it Monday or is it going to be sometime next? Do we have a date?
We don't know yet.
Really?
No, just next week.
It could be
Just
Monday, it
next
could be
week.
Friday.
Not even Monday.
Could you imagine if it's next Friday?
Oh my lord! Like if
Could be
they
the same
actually
day
make
Kanye
us
drops his
wait
next album.
for the, like if
God.
they actually make us wait for the next Friday, they need to do this as quick as possible. But like
Yeah.
this is the moment where we see, like, are they smart or are they really really stupid? And I'm not saying that the smart thing for them to do is to say, we are not going to do anything, nothing is changing, we shut down all these rumors, everything is going to be exclusive, and that's it. Simply that's it. You know what? We are even taking away the games that PlayStation has that we share with them, like Minecraft. That's it. That's exclusive. Like, I'm not saying that they are going to do that. I'm not saying that this is the smart strategy. I think the smart strategy is to keep titles from Xbox Game Studios as exclusives, and Bethesda and Activision Blizzard King as multiplat. Because yes, we know that Xbox has had some issues in terms of like selling games and selling consoles. We know about that. But I think the best strategy for them to get more money, to kind of enjoy that sweet, sweet PlayStation player base money, cash from that. Like, let's say, I'm not, this is not true, but like, let's consider that those 100 million players that bought a PlayStation 4, they bought a PlayStation 5. And like, Xbox will enjoy all of that money from Activision Blizzard and Bethesda games. But I don't think that the smart strategy would be for them to make like everything is going to eventually be multiplat, older titles are going to be multiplat, or we are going to have temporary exclusives and then 1 to 5 years after they are going to other consoles. Because like it gets to the point where, as you guys probably already talked about it before I came here. Like people are not going to be excited for to buy another Xbox. Sure, we can keep the old ones, but what about the moment where it gets to the point where nobody's buying the consoles? This is not profitable anymore. There's no point in us spending so much money in this powerful hardware or in this accessible hardware and not sell anything. Okay, we're shutting down and that's it. Like that's the only problem that comes in my opinion that it comes to that might come to Xbox if they do everything multiplats.
Mm, yeah, I agree. And like I said before, I don't. I think it is strictly a Bethesda, Activision type of thing. And let's be honest now. So the investing of the PS5 dev kits, um, when they acquired Activision, obviously they already had PS5 dev kits at Activision.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you need more if you weren't going to expand that somehow? And when they acquired Bethesda, that was before the release of the PS5, right? It was shortly there before. So
Yeah, like a couple months.
yeah, so that you would think that maybe they need some more for that. So I think this is a Bethesda Activision thing strictly. I don't think we're ever going to see a Gears on a PlayStation console. We're not going to see a Halo on a PlayStation console. It's yeah, that's like if you took let's see what's a revered that's like if you took The Last of Us and put it on Xbox. That would cause the same revolt that we're seeing now because of all these rumors of everything. It's yeah. But you know, I digress. I really want to get into the little pickings of news that we have floating around. Aaron Greenberg said on Twitter he wants to give a big thanks to Pocket Pair and the over 7 million Xbox gamers playing Pal World, which is a record 10 days from launch. Yeah, that's it is pretty massive. It's got something for everybody. I encourage everybody to go and play it. And I hated Pokemon, but now I think I might be open to another Pokemon game if it has survival aspects to it. Because that's my jam. World exploration and survival aspects. Yeah, so what if I have to throw a little sphere to capture a pal? Turn them into slaves at my camp. That's just totally not politically correct, but they did it. Yeah, more on Pocket Pal, too. More on Pocket Pal. Japanese celebrities have reportedly been told to not mention Pal World. The Pokemon Company recently said that it was investigating whether the game infringes on its intellectual property. Celebrities being told not
And
to.
the Japanese laws are way different than the U.S. Like if there's no parity clauses or anything like that there, so if they wanted to, they could just sue them, no repercussion.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I hope not, though. It's a great game. Yeah, they that comes from Tokyo Sports reports that according to a talent agency source, those talents have been advised to not mention the game in case that there are issues. Well, hopefully it's not. Hopefully it turns out to be nothing, and they minded their P's and Q's just enough to keep them out of that infringement clause. Planet Zoo is coming to consoles. Anybody? I know Fabio, you're excited.
What's that?
Planet Zoo is coming to consoles. I know you're excited.
No. What's Planet Zoo? Is like a zoo tycoon?
I don't know. I have no idea. No idea. But I'm psyched. Yeah, I can't wait to
Are you psyched
Oh yeah, totally. So
to
psyched.
create, or is it like those games where you create your own, like your own park, your own city, and then in this situation you create your own zoo? What do you is that the game?
Yeah, I mean maybe.
Ah, it's okay. Okay, it's nice.
Hmm. Matt, were you going to say something about Power World before I moved on to the next?
Oh yeah, so for that, I was gonna say if there was anything there that they could sue them on, Nintendo would have done that as soon as this game started development. They would have they would have done that ASAP. I don't think they're gonna have any success. Uh, Looking through, trying to find out if oh, they're infringing on, like, no, I don't think they're gonna do.
You're
I don't think they're
infringing
gonna
on
do.
our success.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that. If there was something there, they would have been sued, and that game would have never seen the light of day.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're usually pretty quick on that. That they would have never let it go this far. Did anybody play Valiant Hearts?
No, the old
Oh,
360.
I didn't, but it was for what I heard, it is a really beautiful game. Not in terms of visuals, but in terms of the story and how it is told.
The previously released Netflix sequel to Ubisoft's Valiant Hearts is set to be released on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Which
Oh, was it a Netflix game?
I
The
think
sequel?
I think so.
Wow.
VGC has spotted on the Brazilian ratings board. They've recently classified a console port of Valiant Hearts coming home.
Mm,
Yeah.
there is a sequel?
Yeah, but apparently it was Netflix only. Which I knew Netflix had
What?
games. Scroll past them every time as on my way to get to continue what I was watching, but I never clicked on them. It's just not my gaming repertoire
Hmm.
to play on Netflix. Except for that horror game. That horror game was
I
kind of
know.
fun.
I honestly, you please do forgive me. I had no idea Netflix had games. Honestly.
Yeah, well, I never tried them out, but apparently they
Hmm.
do.
Hmm.
And Valiant Hearts
Hmm.
was supposed to be their saving grace on their platform.
How are they going with?
Apparently, it's not going very good because it's going to other platforms. Yeah, and then released on Pure Xbox. On Twitter, they said Dave the Diver Studio is still open to bringing its marine adventure to Xbox. Which, I mean, so I guess that's not a done deal yet. That is going to be on PlayStation. Just PlayStation consoles for.
Really, all they said was like, "Oh, we're not opposed to doing it in the future."
Yeah, that's
Pretty much the same thing Power World developers said about PlayStation Port.
that's. I mean, Dave the Divers is a lot of fun too. That's,
Yeah, here it's very
You
popular.
played? You guys played Dave the Diver?
mm-hmm.
Is it that good?
I played it on
I have
Steam.
not played it.
Yeah, it's indie game of the year, Fabio.
In the game of the year, even though it wasn't supposed to be in the game of the year, but
Did it actually win?
I think it was.
That's
Uh,
hilarious.
yeah, I think it did.
I thought that was that
That's
other
nice.
game that wasn't actually a indie developer that was there.
there was another one.
Diver.
Seriously?
Dave the Diver was an actual indie game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but was there another one besides Dave the Diver?
I don't think so.
I thought there was one that was right below it. No
Oh,
less. I don't know.
Okay,
And
all right.
oh boy, Thember's been on VGC a lot. Another VGC news, and Disney is investing $1.5 billion in Epic Games and building a new universe.
What?
Mm-hmm. It looks like a big storefront to
Mm.
me. It's like it's just a big microtransaction. Not interested at all. It says that it will let users play, watch, shop, and engage with Disney, Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars. Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't sound good.
no.
That doesn't sound good at all. And considering the way Disney has been treating their IPs, yeah.
Yeah, could be. Ubisoft has stated that Assassin's Creed codename Red will be released by the end of March 2025. I'm actually excited for that one.
Yeah,
Wait,
too.
wait. They seriously? They already confirmed that there's gonna be okay, all right.
It's codename
Like,
Red.
yeah, but like, when was that announced? Did that start as a rumor or something like that? Like out of the
No, it
sudden,
was shown
codename
at
was
the
a
Red?
Ubisoft show.
Yeah, like
Ah,
was that earlier
okay.
this year? Was it last year or something? I can't remember.
It was last year.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, all right, all right.
Yeah, it's
No
basically.
idea that there was a Ubisoft show.
I believe it's going to be codename Red is going to be Ubisoft's take on because we know how popular the games like Sekiro have gotten, and games like that with the Japanese lineage. Uh, codename Red is fit to take advantage of that. It's going to put Assassin's Creed in that type of environment. But Ubisoft has also confirmed that Star Wars Outlaws will release by the end of this year. So
I'm looking
Nice.
forward to that. Yeah.
yeah.
Quick side note: you guys remember the Ubisoft show when the lot like where they showed all these games? You guys remember when they had everybody sit in folding chairs?
I don't remember that.
And,
It's hilarious. Phil Spencer looked like hella uncomfortable.
Oh damn, I don't blame him.
Goofy is a badass member. Just saying. Thimber said in the chat, said soon you're going to play as Goofy killing Peter on Fortnite. Which he is a
Yeah,
Goofy's a badass.
yeah, you do have this. You do have a point there.
Yeah, Fortnite's gonna be the Ready Player One game. One day they're
Oh
just
yeah,
gonna
eventually,
IPR
for
and,
sure, for sure, eventually they're good.
That's gonna be the first game to hit the Apple Vision Pro. People
Yeah,
just gonna be
the
walking around cities playing Fortnite. Just walking in the streets mindlessly.
pretending like they're shooting at
Oh.
somebody.
And then, so final tidbit of news to go over, and then we'll do our outros and head on out. The Ubisoft co-founder and CEO has come out and defended the $70 price tag for Skull and Bones. He is calling it
Good for him.
He's calling it a quadruple A game. Yes.
I mean, that's insane. That's
I
It's about to be a
mean,
quadruple A failure. That's for sure.
that's
The zinger.
I mean,
I mean, how much did that game cost to make? 4 or 5 billion? What are we thinking?
I don't.
I mean, come on.
It's a super game.
it costed the same amount of money that Microsoft spends on Activision Blizzard.
I mean,
it's the most expensive game of all time.
To me, I think they just took, they built on the popularity of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and they threw a new coat of paint on it, and gave it some new mechanics, and releasing it as a live it's the live service approach, and they've recently published the year one roadmap, and they're insisting on charging $70 for the game, and which potentially limits the size of its player base, suggesting a free-to-play model may better suit the live service mechanics. But no. Look, we've spent so much money on this game. We want to make sure we get some of it back, even if it flops. Because of that.
I would think. See, and here's the thing: I don't run a successful business, so maybe I'm dead wrong here. I would think that getting money back, the best, most logical way to do that. Sure, you could make your game $70, but why not make it free to play and then just make it a microtransaction hell, like most live service games. I don't know. I don't know.
He goes on to say that you will see that Skull and Bones is a fully fledged game. He said it's a very big game. We feel that people will really see how vast and complete the game is. It's really full, triple, quadruple a game that will deliver in the long run.
It's just making up words now.
Yeah, there is an open beta for Skull and Bones. It's let's see what
It's
was
free right now.
I believe so.
This game will cost 10 fruples on Mars.
This article was just released today, so the open beta started today and will run until February the 11th. So 3 days. The beta does support cross progression and cross play. The progression will be capped at the rank of Brigand Tier 6 Rank 1 and will carry over to the full game.
At least there's that.
And then Skull and Bones will be finally released on February 16th. So an open beta of 3 days that ends 5 days before the release of the game. Okay.
I mean, hopefully it is not bad considering the development hell that it came like, because oh my god, how long have people been waiting for this game?
A long time.
Yeah, and it's gotten delayed like 10 times. It feels like at this point.
No, like I think Skull and Bones and Beyond Good and Evil 2 are like the games that have the biggest delays of all time. Like I think it gets to the point where it's almost just like Duke Nukem Forever almost.
Yeah.
You know what's sad?
I wonder
is that that teaser that they gave for Beyond Good and Evil 2. That teaser was freaking amazing. I mean,
even the extended gameplay trailer.
Yes, and then it was just like, oh well, no, we don't know about that game. We'll come back to it later. Like, don't do that to me.
Everyone loves the
everyone
monkey.
forgets it exists.
Everyone loves the monkey.
And in closing, he goes on to say that players will be able to play the game 3 days early if they pre-order the $100 premium edition, which will include 2 extra missions, cosmetic items, and a smuggler pass token that will unlock the premium battle pass. Ooh, there we go. There's that catchphrase again, premium battle pass.
So is
for a $70 game.
It's not premium? Am I not a premium customer?
Yeah. If I pay $70 for your live service game, I'm not a premium customer.
Oh, you're a
Are you
cheapskate.
sad that you are
That
not a
deserves to
premium
be
customer?
punished.
Oh,
They call it the cheapskate edition.
yeah, right. Oh goodness.
Cheapskate edition.
I mean, don't you love this quadruple splurple game that is Skull and Bones? Like, you need to be a premium customer to play this premium game, don't you think?
I think so. I think you might be right.
I mean, like, that's the logic. You want to play a premium game, you need to be a premium customer, so buy the battle pass.
If I want to play a full-fledged game, whatever that means, I need to pay a premium price.
Blurple. Please do the pronunciation correctly, please.
Oh god.
Oh my god. Well, one of the things that I'm curious, like changing the subject, like, is there anything else that we would like to talk about Skull and Bones or something like that?
Nope, that's it.
Nope, that's it.
No? Okay. Okay, so let's talk about Helldivers. How has the game been holding up? Have you heard
alright.
something about it? It's alright, you play, Vinny?
Yeah, it's fun.
It's just alright, or like it's really good, or like did you play alone?
It's just fun. Like, I think it.
Oh my
I
god.
haven't played with
I
friends
have
yet. I've just played it solo. It's
I
probably
have
better
no
with friends.
confidence in your voice there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't played with friends yet, so I wouldn't know how that
Did you
aspect
play
is.
Helldivers or did you go to the funeral of someone like Jesus?
Well,
Yeah,
Like,
I was basing whether or
yeah,
not I was gonna get
it's
it
fun.
on how excited Vinny was, and hearing Vinny just say it's fine
Yeah,
just
It's
makes me happy.
okay.
yeah.
it's probably better with
It's
friends, but I mean,
no,
it's
no, like I
not
think that's
as
the most genuine voice of saying that something is fun. Like I think Vinny just is like, yeah, it's fun. Like oh my god, you
Hmm.
can hear in his voice how excited he was playing the game.
Oh God.
Anyone else play Helldivers too? Like I saw some people really having a blast. It is one of the games that really caught my attention during the PlayStation Showcase last year. That terrible showcase, honestly, but that game was really good to see. I was excited to see that, and I was like, I've been like this since the first game, which is like, oh, I wish I had this game on Xbox, honestly. But yeah, like some people have been having a lot of fun, but I've been seeing some issues with the PC release. Some people are having some struggles there. You guys saw something about that?
the only
Yeah,
thing I couldn't get on the server. But now
Mm.
it was just like for the first hour, I was trying to get in, but
Ah,
I got
but
in.
it is fixed.
Yeah,
you
there's no
see,
bugs or anything. Some people have crashes, but I haven't had any yet.
you see people
Mm-hmm,
complaining
mm-hmm.
about the anti-cheat too. Like apparently it's like a really old archaic version that's not amazing for your PC.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think people with like not so great GPUs are having a hard time with like optimization right now.
Yeah.
Oh, and the fact
But
that there's no DLSS, everybody's pissed off about that as well.
Yeah, that's weird because PlayStation typically launches, usually quite good at launching with stuff like that, usually.
Yeah.
DLSS, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what
DLSS.
does that mean? I'm sorry, please. I really don't know.
It's frame
AI
generation.
upscaling.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting, interesting. And it seems that the game so far, even though it has been having those struggles, like people are really enjoying to the point where it had some really good sales so far. So yeah, congratulations to PlayStation because that is a first party title, right?
No, it's not a first party title,
No,
but it
well,
is console exclusive.
It is a second party title.
well,
It is a
yeah,
second
it's
party title.
technically it's first party. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Like it
Well, in the
has the
gaming
PlayStation
industry,
Studios, right?
yeah, it's a first party.
Logo. It has a PlayStation Studios logo there, right?
Yeah, there's no such thing as
Yeah.
second party in the gaming industry, so it's a first
But
party.
there's no such thing. Only for Xbox.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
Xbox is soon enough, people are going to be saying that Xbox like this game is not even first party, it's not even third party, it's fifth party, or something like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
What is it, Bob? You're sad. What happened?
Yeah, that's because I have to get ready to go to work. It's just,
Yeah.
I can't wait
I
till I'm
hope your
back on
boss is.
day shift.
You know.
That's the funny part is I'm kind of the boss on third shift. So
Ah, great. So,
yeah,
why do you have to worry about going to work if
yeah.
you're the boss?
I still have
No,
to.
just kidding.
I still have to put up with everybody else.
Hmm.
But yeah, we're gonna start it off, Mr. Fabio Amarim, sir. Tell everybody where they can find you. Yeah.
You see the dramatic pause in my name, like the Mr. Fat.
Dun
Yo,
dun
like it just
dun.
like that
Hmm.
gulp of air there that you just Just perfection, just perfection. Well, you can you can find me not just here in the Game Set Live podcast, but you can find me as well on the XPN Network YouTube channel, where yeah, we did a show talking about this situation where we started kind of shouting at each other because we are passionate and like everyone was talking over each other. It was just pure chaos. Not even I managed to think straight or like just know what the hell I was talking about there to a point. But yeah, it was quite fun. You can find me not just there, but you can find me as well on Twitter as FPO Amorim97, and you can find me on Xbox as Buffon Lizard 8. Thank you very much, Bob. Always a pleasure.
And what is the XBN? What does it stand for?
Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo Network.
See, there you go.
Wouldn't it be XPNN then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we decided to go with network in the end, just so we don't repeat the ends.
See, that's why y'all got so heated at each other, is because you Xbox is in the name. You know, it's too invested. You got to pump the brake, back off, and play some games.
No, honestly, no. Honestly, it's because I am. No, honestly, we got heated over each other because I'm the only Brazilian there, and I'm fighting against a bunch of Brits,
Oh, Lord.
basically.
Yeah. And our esteemed guest, Matt Likes Games. Sir, tell everybody where they can find you at.
Absolutely. I mean, you can find me over on Twitter at Matt Likes Games. You can find me on YouTube at Matt Likes Games, and that's videos every Monday and Friday. And then on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, it's the Two Player Podcast with myself and Ham Solo 05. And then on Sundays on that channel, it's the L3R3 Podcast with myself, Hard Days Mike, and it's me, Twan. And that is where you can find me.
Nice. Everybody, go check him out. You so Vinny?
Very much appreciate you having me on the show.
Oh, it was a blast, dude. I've never had you on here before,
Yeah,
and
like,
I couldn't believe I didn't even have you followed on Twitter, which was wild. I thought I had everybody followed.
Oh yeah. It's a lot going on over on Twitter, so I don't blame you.
Yeah. You so Vinny, sir, where can they find you at? You so Vinny?
Find me at Uso Vinny on all platforms, x.com, Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation.
Yeah, check him out. He's always playing the latest and greatest stuff. So if you follow him, you'll be in the know. You'll be playing the latest and greatest stuff where everybody else knows it's late and great.
On my 4090.
On his 4090. Just rub that shit.
On
If you
his
follow him,
49.
it's almost like you have
Of course, he's going to say that. We need to always put that checklist, like that bingo card saying Vin is going to bitch and brag about his wonderful PC.
Yeah. Shout out to Thimber in the chat. He said honestly.
It's like at the. Yeah, go on.
But Thimber in the chat. He said honestly, today's episode was nice, quite chill and respectful. That's why I love Bob. And then he says, "Okay, well, Bob, you the real one." Yeah, you know, Bob doesn't. I try not to take anything.
Are
too
you
serious.
real?
I'm real.
Are you real?
I am.
I thought you were an imaginary friend.
I am not an AI generation. That's right.
By the way, wait a second. Where am I?
What
am
are
I
you
doing here? No, okay.
Oh God.
Where are you?
Yeah, and this is KY Bob, the host, the wrangler of ruffians every week on here, the Game Set Live podcast. You can catch our live show on KY Bob's YouTube channel, or you can episodes go audio on the podcast platforms, wherever you listen to your podcasts, on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, and Pocket Casts the next day. We're 24 hours off because I don't have time to upload them and get everything set before I go to work, because we always run this show to the last minute. Yeah, we're good at that. But yeah, can't wait till next week's episode when we actually get to talk about what was really going on with this full week of speculation. I look forward to seeing everybody next week. play some games, touch some grass, hug somebody you love, and we're out. Holla.
And don't forget to eat some